Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the All Go Podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button since you're here. Majority of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so please go ahead and do that. Doesn't do anything but help the channel, help me grow. So thank you, I appreciate it. Saw a news report that Howie Roseman just continues to lap every GM in the NFL. They have traded a third-round pick for Jaelan Phillips, who is the pass rusher for formerly the Miami Dolphins, now the Philadelphia Eagles. And yeah, so start here. I think it's a great move by Howie Roseman. I think the value is there. And it's a GM who is the general manager of the defending Super Bowl champions that is not resting on his laurels. He's not sitting around and just saying, oh, my team's good enough and we got the guys and so on and so forth. He's saying, no, we got the guys, but that's an opportunity for us to get better, and I'm going to take advantage of that, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And kudos to them. I mean, it's pretty wild. That they, he does as great of a job as he does. I mean, he's an A+ GM. He, continues to figure out ways to not only get these guys signed, but also, to just continuously acquire talent. And that's what they did there. So, kudos to the Eagles. They got a pretty good pass rusher with Phillips. And this leads me to my hometown team, the Detroit Lions. It's just like, I don't understand it. But I think this is Brad Holmes. And we've seen it as far as when it comes to the pass rusher opposite Aiden. He just refuses to address it with any real high level value. And it's unfortunate because I think that's something that would put us over the top. And he just won't do it. And you can look at Marcus Davenport if you like, sure. But, Brad Holmes is the only one surprised that he got injured this year. And is still not on the field. Still not there. And to me, I mean, yeah, third-round pick, that's some pretty solid, value. But that's a good pass rusher, right? And there was reports that, Brad Holmes was made calls on that. Honestly, I think most of those reports that we hear is hogwash, specific to the Lions. I just don't think he's making those calls. I truly do not. For the minute that Myles Garrett wanted to be traded from the Cleveland Browns, I don't think Brad Holmes was really making calls to the Browns. I don't think he's serious about that. I think and I do understand being cautious when it comes to draft picks, because I think he actually, in general, does a terrific job of drafting. So I do understand that part. But when you're talking about a single third-round pick, we're not talking about, a second-rounder, first-rounder, or 2-2s, anything like that. Like, we're just talking about a third-round pick. Like, the value is there. That is 1,000% there. And it's just frustrating that we see other teams that continuously, improve and get better and try to stock up talent. And no idea. But it is frustrating to have this happen again and again. Wanted something like this last year. Didn't happen. We got Zadarius last year, but then, let him walk. He ended up retiring, and somehow that was a gotcha moment for the Brad Holmes stands who, like he's Nostradamus and knew this was going to happen. But just like I said, it's frustrating as a Lions fan because it's like, man, we would be, I think defensive line wise, if you added a guy like Phillips, and not sure whoever else is going to be available. I wonder if Bradley Chubb would be available. I think he's with the Dolphins as well. But with even a decent guy who can get you 8 sacks, 9 sacks in a season, I think that would make our defense almost unstoppable. Because Hutch has been holding up his end of the bargain. That dude is playing like the highest paid defensive player of the in the NFL. He's doing a terrific job, but he can't do it all himself. And it'd have been great to have another pass rusher chasing down J.J. McCarthy yesterday. But we didn't. So that part is frustrating. I told myself after like week 3 that I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. But it's news, so I did talk about it. But it is frustrating. But yeah, so we'll see. I think trade deadline is tomorrow. I'm expecting to see at least probably 5 or 6 more guys traded. Not sure where, but Miami seems to be one of those teams that potentially kind of fire sale. And we'll see who else. I mean, it's just, for some of the bad teams, you just wonder, like, who do the teams want from those teams? Like Carolina Panthers, I can't remember if they've re-signed or extended Derek Brown or not. More an interior guy. The Falcons, I'm not sure they'd have anybody that, pass rush wise, but yeah, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, trade deadline is coming up soon, and I'm sure more guys will get moved, but that's it for me. Appreciate it. Peace.